today we have the guest unboxing from Second Sight Films, one of my most anticipated releases of the year. This 4K UHD with some absolutely stunning artwork and an amazing movie, the best it's ever looked. Here we have a look at the outside box along with the wraparound with the special features. Put that to one side. Inside we have 3 packages. This is a rigid box, and we have the disc holding section. We have the art cards here as well, and we have a rather information packed booklet here, which is one of the best that I've read recently. Inside there's lots of storyboards of various sequences as well as script excerpts as well, and the usual fantastic essays that you would expect along with one of these kind of modern classic movies. It's a list. Put that to one side. We have a look at the actual discs themselves. Great artwork again, featuring Micah Monroe on the front of it. We have got on the left here the 4K UHD followed by the Blu-ray, and finally the CD soundtrack, which is pretty amazing as well. Put that to one side, and we have the art cards. 6 in total, all various from screen stills or the artwork produced for this release. All pretty stunning, I'm sure you'll agree. A recent announcement and something that just blew me away was the fact that we were going to get The Guest on 4K UHD. I'm a huge fan of this movie. When I walked into the cinema to see it, I was blown away. I was already a fan of Adam Wingard, and that movie made me just know that every time he released a film, I was going to be there, day one, to check it out. It was a movie that I utterly loved, and even looking at my Letterboxd stats, it's one of the movies that I viewed the most, well, since I've started keeping Letterboxd, and it's just a wonderful tale. You know, I love slasher movies, I love horror movies, and I feel that this is a almost deconstruction of a slasher movie done with such wonderful score, style and substance, and just black humour that just delights me every time I watch it.
Okay. Awesome.
The basic story of The Guest is all about David, this guy that turns up on the Peterson's doorstep saying that he knew their son who died in the war and that he just wanted to pass on his final message to the family and move on. And they kind of take him in as a surrogate son.
So you're sticking around, right? You stick around at least till you know where you're going.
Well, maybe just a couple more days.
Looking at him the way they would have looked at their lost son Caleb, and their lives, which are in various disarray, various parts of it, all start to come together with the inclusion of David. He starts to make everything wonderful and better for the family, but we as avid viewers of movies know that there is something wrong with this character. The score, the way it lingers in shots, the look of David and his almost mechanical nature alludes us to the fact that there's something wrong here. And then as the movie plays out, we get to experience that in some really fun action set pieces and terrifically well set up scary set pieces as well. The idea that we follow this movie, or this character of David, who is ultimately going to be, and it's not a spoiler, it's there in the movie. Well, you know, if you want to avoid complete spoilers, tune out now, is the creation of a mythical slasher figure. We're seeing someone become that urban legend, the unstoppable figure with a smile. You know, this was a more charismatic killer as we meet this. And one of the best facets, I think, of The Guest is the almost android-like behaviour that David has. A lot of the time throughout the movie, you feel as if he is pretending, as he's acting to be normal, to fit in, to do what people have to do. It's not the way he is, but he knows how to be almost chameleon-like and fit into all the situations that are required.
Because we're friends. Right?
There's an alluded backstory of government experiments on soldiers going wrong, or right, depending how you look at it. There's a wonderful tale of a family unit coming together, finding everything to be perfect before ultimately blowing up in their face. And it's tied with these wonderful performances from Dan Stevens, who I think is electric and has never been better than he is in The Guest, and Micah Monroe, who followed up It Follows with The Guest for an amazing 1-2 punch. She's just wonderful as the kind of edgy kid who just doesn't believe that things are too good to be true. But all the actors in this movie, more than just the lead ones, are perfectly placed, whether it be the high school principal who shows up for a sequence and is just wonderful, absolutely wonderful, whether it be Leland Orser, who is such an amazing actor that he just imbues his performance with so much comedic timing and funny belly laughs that it's almost, you could almost believe that you're watching a comedy at certain points.
Spencer?
I need a drink.
Well, what happened?
I'm getting a drink, honey.
The way it's situated around Halloween, the way it has all these tropes, this dying bell that kind of rings once ominously every now and again throughout the movie, the unrealistic and haphazard nature that David has towards violence. It's a tool to be used as he teaches the young brother how to look after himself and what to do if people are picking on him at school.
And bring a knife to school. They take it off you and beat you up. You go around their houses at night and burn them down with their families inside. What's the worst they can do?
It all comes together with this wonderful sense of tone and style that just melds together to create a wonderful movie. And it has never looked better than it has in the 4K. Like I said, this is a movie that I've seen a lot, and the colours just pop, especially the sequence at the end when we're in the sort of haunted dance hall, and it's got all the wonderful lighting and effects going on, and they just pop out. The score sounds amazing thanks to the great treatment that's been given on this disc, and it's wonderful to see a movie that I utterly just love get this kind of treatment. Amazing. The Guest is a fantastic movie. It's a movie that I took great pleasure in showing a lot of my friends, sitting them down, telling them nothing, and watch as they tried to figure out what exactly they were watching and where it was going to go next. And it's great just sitting down. I sat down and watched this with my daughter and just see how much she loved it as well. Kind of unexpected. She'd already starting to realise the tropes and traits in various films, and this just circumvents them all in such a wonderfully obscure fashion. The Guest is amazing. This package is fantastic. It's one of the best that's come out, primarily because it's a movie that I utterly love, but also because of the wealth of material that's within this one as well. So we're going to jump into the disc and have a look at all the extras that come on the disc with this one. So let's do it right now. So here we are into the menu of The Guest from Second Sight Films. We're going to go into the extras and have a look at what it has to offer here. We get a new commentary by Adam Wingard and writer Simon Barrett, archival commentary with Adam Wingard and Barrett as well. Then we're into some of the new produced materials. We've got The Uninvited Guest, an interview with actor Dan Stevens. This is about 20 minutes, and we get Dan Stevens basically talking about how he got the job, his thoughts on the movie and making of it, as well as him wearing an outstanding jacket. Well, kind of. Then we have A Perfect Stranger, an interview with actor Micah Monroe, which is just over 7 minutes. Now, in this one, she's basically talking a little bit about her career and the production as well. And she's taken on the mantle, the challenge thrown down by Stevens about clothing, and has an equally wacky shirt on as well. By invitation only is an interview with director Wingard and writer Barrett, which is 49 minutes in length, talking about their career, how they got the movie up and running, making it, all kinds of information. This is a treasure trove for any fan of The Guest. Absolutely outstanding. Next up, we've got Producing The Guest, interview with producers Jess Wu Calder and Keith Calder, which is 23 minutes, basically talking about the relationship and just making of the movie. It's interesting. One of my favourite ones was Light and Fog, interview with the DOP Robbie Baumgartner, which is 22 minutes, and it's just really fun just hearing him talk about how he set up certain shots, how he tried to go the naturalistic route, how he created the look and feel for the movie, his enjoyment of working with Wingard. All comes through and was just a fascinating interview. Next up, we've got Lightning Strikes, interview with production designer Tom Hammock, which again is another interesting one, just under 13 minutes, and basically talking about the sets, minimum money but getting the maximum impact from a lot of the things that they created, and was, again, interesting. The Sounds of The Guest was an interview with composer Steve Moore. This seems to have been done over some kind of streaming service or video conferencing. It's 12 minutes in length, and it's just interesting talking about how he got the job, how he knew Wingard, how he had to produce the material before production started on the movie. And last, we've got Deleted and Alternate Scenes. Now, this one has commentary with it as well. Now, it's basically 15 minutes. There are various different setups, whether it be an extended opening or things like that. It's stuff that you can see that's nice to look at, but you understand why it was cut from the movie. And there we go. This is a really fantastic disc if you're a fan of this movie. So there we have it. You've got all those extras on the disc, but along with that, with this limited edition, you get the CD, you get that wonderful booklet. It should be a book. It's amazing that the content that's in there is wonderful. I've read the essays. I've actually looked through the screenplay or segments of the screenplay a few times as well, which are just fascinating. And I love the storyboards. It's just something that I've always kind of loved. And yeah, this is one of my favourite discs of the year. The Guest has never looked better. It's got a package it deserves, and it's one that I urge you to check out now, because I understand it's selling well and it could disappear very quickly. I'd love to know your thoughts on The Guest, the movie, what you think of it. Is it something that resonates with you, or is it just me? It's kind of like loving it. Am I out there on my own? Let me know if you've picked up the limited edition, if you're waiting on the standard. I'd love to know your thoughts on this package. Let me know in the comment box. And of course, I've got other content up here if you want to check out more of my videos, some second sight videos as well, because I love their packaging. And of course, you can subscribe, like, share this video, which is all great, or join the Patreon or even the membership program, which would be fantastic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.